Beer here back in the Fantasy Bar, Friday on tap, and we are back here in the Fantasy Bar with some of my favorite plays for you for the big Friday night slate on FanDuel and DraftKings, including one game I think is very stackable. We'll get you one of my favorite value plays at the catcher position, a starting pitcher that looks too cheap in a good matchup, and my favorite play of the night in a great spot. Who we talking about? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Friday edition Beers Daily Fantasy Six-Pack. Where else would you rather be on a Friday than hanging out here in the Fantasy Bar? Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out today's video. Before we get into the plays, couple things. First thing, and most important, that thumbs up button. Guys been doing great with that. If you enjoy the content, you like hanging out in the Fantasy Bar, take a second, click that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos, and check out scoresandodds.com/beer for all of your sports betting needs. All right, big slate of games here tonight. Couple weather spots. I think we mostly avoided them. As always, we have to make any changes, we will do so in the YouTube comment section. Reminder, our intro play, along with a recap of the previous video, can be found over on our RotoGrinders YouTube page in our shorts video. Quick 45-second recap of the previous video, the first play of the day. Reminder, that is over there, so go and check that out while you can. All right, let's get to it here. Let's start in the outfield with Christian Yelich of the Brewers. So Yelich starting to wake up here a little bit. 5 multi-hit games from now over the last 10, leading this team in both WOBA, sitting over 400, ISO over 200 against righties, and really hitting the fastball well. Going to see a ton of those from Kopech, 64% of the time. That is his preferred pitch. Big numbers for Yelich against that pitch. 510. The WOBA would go along with a 316 ISO. Kopech very vulnerable to the home run. 24 home runs already allowed. We've still got almost 2 months left to go in this season. So Brewers, great stack here tonight, especially the power bats. Yelich being my favorite of the group tonight against Chicago. All right, let's go to shortstop next. We are rolling with Trey Turner of Philadelphia. So great price here, especially on FanDuel, down to $2,900. So great value on Trey Turner. 7 straight games with hits, 3 multi-hit games in that same span here. Been very good against lefties over the last month. Kind of been a slow start to the season against lefties, but really starting to wake up here. WOBA way up at 458, ISO at 280 over the last 30 days against lefties. We know Dallas Keuchel towards the end of his career, last seasons where we really get the numbers against righties. 426 WOBA allowed, 248 the ISO here. I don't suddenly see him bouncing back and being dominant like we saw earlier in his career. He gets a great spot for the Phillies, and that FanDuel price too tough to ignore here. And even on DraftKings, still like him there. Trey Turner, my favorite shortstop play here for Friday night. All right, let's get some value at the catcher spot with Ryan Jeffers of Minnesota. So checks a lot of boxes here. First, we get a little correlation. I think that game very stackable here tonight with Philadelphia, Minnesota. We get a cheap catcher with some power, which is always what we are looking for. Guy hits in the heart of the order generally, and you get a good matchup. So a lot to like here tonight with Ryan Jeffers, who's really been on a nice power stretch here of late. 3 home runs, 9 RBI for him over just the last 6 games alone. Sanchez, multiple home runs in 3 of his last 5 starts and giving up an absolute ton of hard contact to right-handed hitters, way up at 49% here. So Jeffers, easily my favorite catcher value on the night. Very stackable game here, or even if you just need a one-off play. Ryan Jeffers, my favorite catcher here for Friday night. All right, let's get you a starting pitcher in a great matchup. We are talking Lance Lynn of the Dodgers. Now, this one not going to fly under the radar. I'm expecting him to be very highly owned. There's always ways to get different. You don't have to avoid all the chalk. This is such a good matchup. Cash games, I think he's a lock. Tournaments, I want a lot of exposure here as well for a lot of reasons. First, Dodgers offense. Dodgers very stackable tonight. We did not include them here in the video. Could have put 4 or 5 Dodgers in here as always. So it gives him even more appeal when the offense behind him going to put up some runs. Been great since coming over, averaging right around 24 DraftKings points per start. And what a matchup he gets here with the Colorado Rockies. 8th highest strikeout rate against right-handed pitchers, over 24%. And no team in all of baseball been worse against right-handed pitchers in WRC Plus than the Colorado Rockies. So Lance Lynn prices still fair. Good matchup here. Plenty of strikeout upside tonight against the Colorado Rockies. All right, it's time. Take a look at my favorite play for Friday night. Before we do that, let's continue our Beats of the Night contest. Easy to play, free to play, and a thank you to you guys for all your support All you got to do, hit that thumbs up button and head to the comment section and guess fantasy points on DraftKings for my highest scoring hitter. Whoever's got the closest guess, you're going to win yourself a free week of RotoGrinders Premium. While you're down there, who's your beast of the night? Going with some of these Dodgers? You got somebody else in mind? Sound off in that YouTube comment section. All right, let's wrap this baby up with my favorite play you know best, the beast of the night. All right, beast time. We've saved you in some spots so we could spend up here the premium bat. I want to go out of my way to get in lineups tonight. First baseman Matt Olson of the Braves, tonight's beast of the night. So Olson really making a case here for MVP. Might be a race between two guys on the same team here, but putting up massive numbers here down the stretch. 6 multi-hit games for him over the last 13. Killing right-handed pitching this season. Woba well over 400. ISO way up at 366. And McGill mainly leans on that fastball. Bad news here against Matt Olson. Those numbers jump even higher to 459 and 369 in the Woba and ISO departments 61% of the time. That is his preferred pitch. Also giving up a 366 Woba, over 48% hard contact rate. To me, one of, if not the worst pitcher on tonight's slate. The Braves should go ham. Another team that will be popular, but I would not want to miss this one, especially Matt Olson. Think he's in for a massive night. Easily my favorite play on the board and tonight's beast of the night. All right, guys, that'll do it here from Friday night in Fantasy Bar. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video. Don't forget fantasy points on DraftKings for my highest scoring hitter of the 5 bats I gave you, along with your beast of the night in that comment section. Thumbs up button and subscribe if you have not already. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Best of luck tonight. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist.